السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. This is the spirit of the Hujjaj. You have to lift your spirit a bit higher because you're about to embark on a most blessed journey, and it is indeed a physical and financial ibadah. So we need that physical component to be, mashallah, fit. So once again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على خاتم الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا وشفيعنا وحبيبنا محمد النبي الأمين، وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه ومن اهتدى بهديه واستنى بسنته وعنا معهم برحمته وفضله إلى يوم الدين. اللهم اجعل تجمعنا هذا تجمعا مرحوما، وتفرقنا من بعده تفرقا معصوما، ولا تجعل فينا ولا منا ولا معنا شقيا ولا محروما. يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث، أصلح لنا شأننا كله ولا تكلنا إلى أنفسنا ولا إلى غيرك طرفة عين ولا أقل من ذلك. اللهم يا فارج الهم ويا كاشف الغم، فرج اللهم هم المهمومين ونفس كرب المكروبين وفك أسر المأسورين، وانصر عبادك المظلومين المستضعفين في غزة وفي فلسطين وفي كل مكان يا رب العالمين. All praise belong to Allah, Lord of the worlds. I testify that there is no worthy of worship nor true God except Allah. He has no partners and no equal. And I testify that Muhammad is his servant and final messenger, and I ask Allah Almighty to shower abundantly His peace, praise, compassion, mercy, and blessings upon our dear and beloved Prophet Muhammad, his family, companions, followers, and upon all of us gathered here in his blessed house, this blessed month, this blessed night. Ameen, Allahumma ameen. Dear brothers and sisters, this program tonight is a special program for a special group of guests who are most special because they are the honorable guests of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah accept from all of them. Say Ameen. And may Allah bestow His blessings upon those who have sincere intentions to perform Hajj and haven't performed it yet. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ease their journey. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have the opportunity lend itself towards them by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to perform Hajj and Umrah marratan adida wa azminatan madida wa a'waman adida. Ameen, Allahumma ameen. That being said, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam explains, and he says, Al-Hujjaj wal-Ummaru wafdullah in da'awhu ajabahum wa in istaghfaruhu ghafara lahum. Pilgrims who perform Hajj and Umrah are the special guests of Allah. If they ask Him, He will answer them. If they seek His forgiveness, He will forgive them. When Rasulullah ﷺ says, Wafdullah, they're the special guests of Allah. We all need to treat them this way. And we all need to understand that Allah Azza wa Jal, through His kindness and mercy, sent a special invitation. That being said, it is important for us to make an intention, a niyyah. Our niyyah, the entire purpose of responding to the call and command of Allah Azza wa Jal to perform Hajj and or Umrah is only to seek the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal. Our niyyah should be absolutely sincere to seek the forgiveness of Allah, the mercy of Allah, the blessings of Allah, the rida of Allah, which indeed eventually becomes the Jannah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prepared for those whom He is pleased with. يَا أَيَّتُهَا النَّفْسُ الْمُطْمَئِنَّةُ ارْجِعِي إِلَىٰ رَبِّكِ رَاضِيَةً مَرْضِيَّةً. May Allah make us amongst them. فَادْخُلِي فِي عِبَادِي وَادْخُلِي جَنَّتِي. So brothers and sisters, there's obviously a spiritual component or components to Hajj and Umrah. And then there's the ritual steps or fiqh, or the ritual of Hajj and how to perform it. We need many hours for both, but my purpose tonight is simply to simplify for you the Hajj rituals and the steps to make you an Hajj expert to a great degree. I'm not blowing smoke here. I really mean what I say. So if we pay attention, and hopefully we can do this in the time that we have between Maghrib and Isha tonight, inshallah, I would like you to at least get rid of the anxiety of what do I do next? Okay? How am I going to perform Hajj? I've never done this before. I've never visited Mecca and Medina before. I've never performed. What is the Hajj? What exactly does it mean? Is it different from Umrah? I've never done Umrah before. Those questions, I would like to kind of put those to rest. So the purpose, hopefully, because I want you to gauge the program and yourselves by the end of this session, that we are comfortable in understanding how to perform Umrah and how to perform Hajj. Fair enough? Very good. That's our objective. Let's work together. I promise you, if you pay attention, inshallah ta'ala, you will walk out very comfortable. I usually like to say Umrah experts, right? And inshallah also Hajj experts. And alhamdulillah, we're with you. And even regardless of which group you go with, you have my personal contact information. You can contact me at any time, during or before or after Hajj, and I will assist you to the best of my ability at all times, internationally, nationally, doesn't matter, inshallah ta'ala. My phone will have internet, inshallah, will have the regular American number, the regular WhatsApp, the regular whatever ways, I'm reachable. And it's an honor to serve you. That being said, most of us are going to Medina, okay? I'm trying to give you the important things, so pay attention. Most of us are going to Medina first, okay? When we go to Medina first, this relieves us of having to wear ihram when we first arrive or on the plane or before. You don't have to worry about all of that. We go to Medina in your regular clothes with the intention of visiting the Prophet ﷺ's masjid, visiting Rasulullah ﷺ himself. There's adabu ziyarah. If we have time at the end, I'll cover some of that. The etiquettes of visitation. And what do we do in Medina? Some guidelines in Medina, what to expect in Medina. And then we prepare for leaving Medina. When we prepare for leaving Medina, most of us are going to do Hajj Tamattu'. What do these words mean? My objective is for you to understand. Tamattu' means you perform 2 rituals in one trip. What does that mean, 2 rituals in one trip? It means that we are going to go from Medina, we wear our ihram, and I will cover that, with the intention of going to perform Umrah. And then post Umrah, we do Tamattu', means we have no restrictions. And then we go back into ihram for Hajj, second ritual. First ritual is Umrah, second one is Hajj. These are 2 different things. But when we go on one journey, one trip, to visit Mecca with the intention of Umrah, and then going again and performing Hajj, we did 2 rituals on one journey, one trip. This is called 2 rituals in one trip, but when we finish the Umrah and we no longer are in Ihram, and then we go back again into Ihram for Hajj, this is called Tamattu' period, meaning the time you can enjoy the non-restricting or matters or no restrictions during that period. Do we understand? طيب. Let me cover Umrah, and then I will cover Hajj really quickly. It will be easy because Umrah is a big component of Hajj, or the rituals themselves. So Umrah has 4 pillars. How many pillars? 4. Work with me. How many pillars? 4 according to most madhahib, 3 according to some madhahib. So therefore we're going to say 4 for the sake of learning. Okay? The first is called niyyah or ihram. These are synonyms. It's called ihram. What is ihram? Niyyah, essentially. Okay? These work together. Ihram. That's the first pillar. Say, what is the first pillar? Ihram. What is ihram? Niyyah, intention. Did I say anything about clothing yet? I didn't say anything about clothing. A lot of us use the word ihram as malabisul ihram, the clothing and attire and garments of ihram. The white sheets that I will show you right now, these are not ihram. We use this language, but that's not ihram. Ihram is the intention. Got it? So there are some sunan before pre-ihram, and then you make the niyyah, you get into the state of ihram, and then there are restrictions during ihram, and things that are non-restrictive, the permissibilities during ihram. Shall we dive into it? طيب. Some sunan, plural of sunnah, before ihram is that one has clipped their nails. It isn't the act of clipping, it is you're in a state of cleanliness is the idea. So if you clipped your nails 2 days ago and tomorrow you're going to get into ihram, don't go clip your nails again. There's no point. You don't have nails. You understand? It's not the act, it's the actual state of cleanliness. So clipping nails, trimming one's mustache if they have a mustache, cleaning one's, removing underarm hair and pubic hair, showering, putting on some perfume or itr. These are pre-ihram, and these are all sunan. Got it? These are all sunan. They're not obligatory, but we're going on a journey. Let's try to get as maximum hasanat and implement as many sunnahs as possible. But from a fiqhi perspective, I would like you to distinguish what is mandatory and what is not mandatory. What is mandatory is the intention. Everything else, we can work. There's between wajib and sunan and all of these other things. Okay? So now, we do that in Medina, in your own hotel room. Shower, take your time, give yourself ample time, and all of that. It is sunnah to have wudu. It is sunnah to pray a prayer. It could be dhuhr. As they say, we're going to leave after dhuhr. So you can go pray dhuhr in the Prophet ﷺ's masjid, and that suffices. If it's not a prayer time, they say we're leaving at 9 a.m. Okay? There's no prayer at 9 a.m. I prayed Fajr and it's not dhuhr yet. Then you can pray 2 rak'at called sunnatul ihram. But they say we're leaving at 1:30 p.m. Be ready in the lobby. And dhuhr is at 12:30. So you go pray dhuhr. That prayer is enough for your sunnatul ihram. No sunnatul ihram, but it's enough suffices. It's a prayer. It could be a fard prayer, or if there's no fard prayer, you pray 2 rak'at. All of these are sunnahs. Any of this obligatory so far? No. Okay? Then you put on the garments of ihram for the men. For the ladies, you wear any clothing as long as it's loose fit and it fits the Islamic guidelines for attire, for clothing. What is the Islamic guidelines for men and women? Number 1, it covers the awrah. Number 2, it's not see-through, not transparent or translucent. Number 3, it's not tight, it's not fitted, so it's loose fit. These are the 3 conditions for clothing, for men and women. The difference is, men, their awrah is from navel to knee. Ladies, their awrah is everything but the face and hands. Okay, and the feet, there is difference of opinion, so don't fight about that. You cover your feet or don't cover your feet is not a problem. Okay? For the brothers, we have restrictions, and for the sisters, we have restrictions. For the brothers, we cannot cover our head. If we get into ihram, no head cover. For the sisters, you cannot cover your face, according to most madhahib. If you see a sister wearing niqab, it's okay. Don't attack her. There's an opinion that allows it. But the majority opinion doesn't. It does not allow it. It just says no covering of the face. Okay? We're not getting into the debate, but I'm explaining to you so you don't think things in terms of right and wrong when there's a difference of opinion. The brothers, if you are healthy, then you only can wear 2 pieces or 2 sheets. These are called the clothes or the attire or garments of ihram. For the sisters, you wear any clothing that fits the Islamic guidelines, and as long as you don't cover your face and you don't cover your hands. You can wear regular shoes, sneakers, whatever chappals, whatever you want to wear is no problem. For the brothers, these 2 sheets. Let me show you and also demonstrate. So this is my Hajj preparation kit. So we kind of understand what I would recommend. Some things are religious, some things are not. Okay? Not religious. But there's some component to it that I'll explain. These here are premium Egyptian cotton white sheets that Darus Salam provides. May Allah bless them. You usually cannot buy these in the store, so they provide that, and I'm very privileged to have it because they're the best. And trust me, they all look the same. They don't feel the same. Big difference. So there's two pieces: a bottom piece and a top piece, izar and rida. Okay? You don't need to memorize anything. You just need to know that how to wear it and what you need to wear. Izar, this is very important for the brothers. Let me explain to you how to do this. This is very important, this step. Okay? You might go on YouTube and find 5 different ways to wear this. As long as you wear it and you have the safety part taken care of, that's all that matters. The way I like to explain how to wear it, before you put this on, open your legs very widely, as wide as you can without hurting yourself. You take one side, move it, second side, move it, okay? And then you nip this like that, fold it like that. Okay, we're not there yet, we're not done yet. Why did I open my legs widely? Because when you are moving, and especially if you're running between the green light, or your child is about to get hit or run over and you have to run, or your spouse slips and you run for her, or something like that happens, if you just stood the way I'm standing and you did your wrap around, when you do one of these, the bottom of the ihram, this leg is going to pull this leg behind and you're going to fall on your head and you're really going to get hurt. Do you understand? So that opening gives it some space. Once we do this, you may use any kind of belt, okay? As long as it's not made from swine. So any kind, leather, whatever, dhabiha, non-dhabiha, I don't really care. And you do this, okay? Once you do this, you cover it and you tuck it in. This is key. You tuck it from underneath, okay? You tuck it from beneath and you have someone help you tuck it from the back. That tucking is going to be a lifesaver. One year I was, let me take this off. One year I was in the train. All of us are going on a train mostly, okay? The train that takes you from Mina to Arafat to Muzdalifah. So on our way from Muzdalifah to Mina, everyone's rushing to get on the train. When you talk about overcapacity, there's no space to even breathe, okay? It's not to scare you, it's just to prepare you. There was, I can't even remember if it was a brother or sister sitting on the train floor. And we're all standing and holding on to this thing, so we don't fall. And we're like a sardine can. And the person on the floor didn't have anything to hold on to. So the only thing they held on to was my ihram. And I'm telling you, the train is tugging and shoving and moving and fast and slow. And by Allah's help only, because things from the asbab perspective were tucked in tightly, that person was pulling with all their weight and nothing happened, alhamdulillah. I know you guys are waiting for something to happen. So the point I'm making is, when you put on your belt, fold over and tuck it deeply underneath that belt. That helps. When anyone pulls, you have nothing to worry about. Fair enough? That's the bottom part. The top part, we should do one of these, okay? However you like. There's no style, it's your style, okay? You can do it like this. You can make one longer than the other one and fold it over like this, okay? Your style, whatever you like. Cover both shoulders until you get to your hotel in Mecca. When you go to your hotel in Mecca, refresh yourself and make a new wudu and get ready. Then it is sunnah on the first tawaf. Only that one, okay? To uncover your right shoulder and then do this. Your right shoulder is showing, and this is how you would dress. After you're done with those 7, you take this back and you do one of these or do one of these, and you no longer uncover your shoulder till you go back to the States again, or Pakistan, or wherever you're going. Clear? Second Umrah, Hajj, whatever, no more showing of the shoulders. Fair enough? You may put some pins here. Just make sure they're pointing outwards, and you have strong safety pins. Don't buy that flimsy stuff. I have some of these here, and I have some, inshallah, Sahban. He's been on Umrah with me, and Brother Shah Zafar, he's in India now, may Allah bless him. They always help me by posting the links, so you can just click Amazon or whatever. We don't advertise for anybody, but just you click and you'll be able to buy these and buy similar ones, okay? These are like big elephant pins, right? The point is, these won't hurt you like the small ones. So when you do it, make sure it's pointing outwards, at your own risk. Get something that's nice and strong. This will help you keep things the way they need to be put. Without the small ones, the first tug, they open up and they hurt you. And you might have one open or multiple actually. So this here is the clothing of ihram. We have a bottom part and a top part. That's all you're wearing. You may spray perfume or itr on your body, but once you put on you don't spray it on the ihram itself. Okay? If it catches from your body, it's not a problem. Just don't spray on the ihram. So far, once I wear this, thank you. So far, once I wear this, am I in the state of ihram? Trick question. Am I in the state of ihram? Once I'm wearing these two.
If you have done the niyyah.
Very good. Inshallah, Dr. Yaqub here, head of the endocrinology department. So mashallah, they pay attention. So pay attention, mashallah. If you've made the intention, that's when you are in state of ihram. So if I wore this, am I in ihram? No. So far, I'm good. Okay? I'm not in ihram yet. We all are dressed ahead of time. Please, please, the train doesn't wait for anyone. And this is a huge season. Many people, millions, okay? They count sometimes 2.5, 3 million. There's another 3 or 4 million people that are sneaking in to go perform, and locals and so forth. You're talking about many, many people. So when we tell you be at your hotel lobby in ihram at X time, please don't make us wait for you. Please don't. Because the buses for many people have to bus them. Many people have to move. Many people, don't do that. Just be ready ahead of time, chill, drink your chai or coffee, and you'll be good to go. Another element of ihram is before you cross your miqat, at or before, you must be in the state of ihram. You must have completed your intention. What is your miqat? Miqat means station. For Medina people, it's called Dhul Hulayfa. So for our purposes, you don't have to memorize if you're coming from Iraq or coming from Egypt. We're not memorizing that. We're focusing on those who are in Medina. Our miqat is called Dhul Hulayfa. We're not going to Dhul Hulayfa. So the guidelines are at or before. Okay? We're not going to Dhul Hulayfa, so it's going to be before. The way I like to do it with my group is once we sit on the train, okay, and the train just starts to move, we make the intention. If you feel that you're so exhausted, once you sit down you might get knocked out, then do it before that. We can do it at the train station while we're waiting to get on the train. You can do it in the hotel lobby. That's no problem. It's at or before, okay? It is sunnah to say it once the animal starts to move that you're riding on. The train starts to move, then you make the intention. But do it right away, don't wait, because very soon it crosses the boundary. If you cross the miqat and you cannot go back, and likely in Hajj it's very difficult to go back, then there's a penalty. And usually it's like $200-300 per sheep. And if you and your wife, they're talking about $400-600, that's for one mistake. So pay attention so you don't start costing you mistakes. So now, on the train, leaving Medina, in the state of attire, we're about to make the niyyah. The niyyah is, oh Allah, here I am, with the intention, performing the intention of Umrah with the intention of tamattu' till Hajj. Oh Allah, accept it from me. You can say this in Arabic. If you're with me, we have the earpieces provided, and I'll be speaking in the mic, and you can hear in your own ear. So, لبيك اللهم بعمرة متمتع بها إلى الحج فتقبلها مني فإن حبسني حابس فمحلي حيث حبستني لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك. MashaAllah, this Hujjaj, if you were my group, I'd fire you. This is not my opinion. There's a hadith. It says Allah loves al-Hajj, al-Hajj, al-Lajj, al-Thajj. That Allah loves the Hajj where people are using their voices and they're really, mashallah, engaged in their takbir. You can hear Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu's takbirat from his tent. Yes, until your voice goes away. We're not talking about screaming, but we're talking about, I'm single-handedly louder than all of you combined. Alhamdulillah, mashallah. So again, practice. You cannot, لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك. Do you understand? This is for practice, mashallah. He's already at Arafat, mashallah. So once you make that intention, it could be in any language, it doesn't matter. It could even be non-spoken if someone can't speak. It's okay, as long as you make that intention from there. But for those who do speak, verbalize it. Okay? Verbalize your intention. And if you're performing Hajj on behalf of somebody else, all you have to say is, oh Allah, here I am to perform Umrah on behalf of, oh Allah, please accept it from me. It's with tamattu' till Hajj. Oh Allah, accept it from me. Very simple, right? With this, you are in the state of ihram from that point onwards. From that point onwards, you're in the state of ihram. What does that mean? It means you have some restrictions that otherwise you were not restricted. What is it? One, you cannot intentionally cut any hair or clip it. If you wipe your eyes or rub your eyes or itch your skin and scratch your skin and some hair falls out, it's okay. But don't intentionally do that. Can you comb your hair? Hopefully you combed before ihram and you don't have to look good right after, so you're fine. But you can comb, just don't intentionally, get rid of hair. You cannot clip your nails intentionally, right? Some people just have this habit, so try to be conscious about these things. You cannot use scented soaps and shampoos and itrs and perfumes. You can do that before, but once you're in state of ihram, no. You can shower and bathe, but unscented soap or no soap. Okay? But you cannot use scented soaps and shampoos once you're in the state of ihram. What if you go to the train station, you have to use the bathroom, and now the only soap that's available is scented soap? It's okay. Wash your hands with that scented soap, please. Don't say I'm in ihram, I'm not washing my hands. Wash your hands with scented soap. Those are exceptions. But we're talking about, you getting in the shower, putting on your nice whatever, shampoo and your favorite, deodorant. And no, we don't do that, okay? So you do that before. So that better be the best shower you've taken in your life before you do ihram. You are restricted from marital relations, meaning sexual relations. You are restricted from having any proposals. So, brother, don't get on one knee and you say, sister, it's Mecca, it's meant to be. Don't do that. And sisters, please, you find, mashallah, a nice potential bride for your son or cousin. Don't say, oh, mashallah, you start having a conversation with the sister's mother. We have my brother, mashallah, here's his picture on, mashallah, on my screen. And you cannot do that. No proposals on your behalf or somebody else's behalf. We don't do that during ihram. All right? Fair enough? Clear? طيب. For brothers, you cannot wear makhit. Cannot wear things that have sleeves, things that have pants, like these things that are sewed, for this purpose. It isn't the stitching itself. Pay attention to that. So these things sometimes have stitching. Okay? Your shoes may have stitching. Your belt may have stitching. Your Darussalam or whoever you're going with, Al-Burj or Sira or Mawasim or whoever you're going with, may have this, and it may have some stitching. All of that is fine. With the stitching we're talking about is arms, legs, and stuff like that, not just the stitching itself, literally. Clear? All right. For the brothers, we cannot cover our heads, and we cannot wear socks, and we should not also wear shoes that are closed from behind, like your regular shoes or sneakers or dress shoes. Cannot do that. You may wear things like Crocs or sandals. These are the ones I highly recommend. I should be paid for this because we keep advertising for these folks. These are called oofs, okay? I think they're OOFOS. Wallahi, I'm not paid for this. They don't even give me a free pair. So, oofs. These are what I highly recommend, and this style with the thong in the front, not the closed ones. The closed ones will give you some damage on your feet, if you use it for Hajj, that is. So these, waterproof, they're plastic, they're light, the best $60 you'll spend in your life. Yes, they're a little expensive, but they're worth every penny. Be careful when you're walking on wet floors. They do tend to be slippery a little bit, or even more than a little bit. But they are the most comfortable shoes that I use when I go for Hajj or Umrah, and you're walking on, mashallah, clouds, and that's what I would recommend. But you may use Crocs, you may use anything else. Crocs hurt my feet when I used it for Hajj, but you can use whatever you want. These are some of the restrictions in the state of Ihram. Can you sleep in Ihram? Yes. Just don't cover your head. Can you take off your Ihram? Yes. Can you change Ihrams? Put another pair? Yes. Can you use the restroom? Yes. Can you eat? Yes. Can you shower? Yes, without scented soaps and shampoos. Clear? You're in this state until you're done with Umrah. And when we're in Hajj, until you're done with the restrictions. We'll talk about those. So far, how many pillars do we have for Umrah? How many? MashaAllah. These guys are like, you spent this much time on the first pillar? Yeah, it's easy. It's going to help you a lot. So what is essentially the first pillar? Niyyah. And what is niyyah also known as? Ihram. So in the fiqh books it will say ihram, and the definition of ihram is niyyah. Fair enough? Can a person, here's some trick questions, can a person get into ihram wearing clothes like this? A guy? The answer is yes, but he has a penalty. Do you understand? Because what is the main point of ihram? Niyyah. Intention. You made the intention, you filled the requirement. Everything else is between sunnah and mustahab and wajib and so forth. Okay? Tayyib. Bismillah. We go on to the second. So likely I'm walking you through the journey. We go to our hotels. Go up to your hotel room. Be courteous. Most of the time in Hajj you're rooming with other people. It's not always your spouse. Sometimes you have others. So try to be courteous. Use the restroom as quickly as possible. Properly, but just don't sit there and start checking your WhatsApp and your Facebook and your emails. And mashallah, we have a line outside and we have a time clock. The Imam is waiting in the lobby. Kind of be quick. Freshen up. You may or may not have to take another shower. It's up to you. Just make wudu. You have to be in a state of wudu for the next pillar. Okay? Like I said, you can show your right shoulder on that first trip. That is sunnah, but not mandatory on the first tawaf. The next, second pillar is called tawaf. What is it called? Tawaf. Of course, you're going to Hajj, you should memorize these words, but you don't have to. So what is tawaf? Walking around the Kaaba. How many times? It is always a set of 7, and it's concluded with 2 rak'at. Remember this. Every time you go to tawaf, sunnah tawaf, tahiyyatul haram tawaf, umrah tawaf, hajj tawaf, it's always a set of 7. How many? 7. And it concludes with 2 rak'at, sunnatul tawaf. Clear? It's a package. 7 and 2 rak'at. You must have wudu during tawaf. You must have wudu during tawaf. Fair enough? Tayyib. We go to the haram, walk together, and once you see the Kaaba, please don't do this. Some people say, I don't want to see the Kaaba, I don't want to see, close their eyes, and then they're, don't do that. Yeah, you walk normally. You see the Kaaba, you make the dua. There's a sunnah when you see the Kaaba, there's a beautiful dua. اللهم زد هذا البيت تشريفا وتكريما وتعظيما ومهابة وبرا وزد من شرفه ممن حجه أو اعتمره تشريفا ومهابة وبرا أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. Oh Allah, increase this house of yours with more dignity and more honor, and increase everyone that visits it with honor and dignity. Okay? And then you make any dua from your heart. Your whole trip from this moment onwards, any time, before, after, during, all of these are moments to make dua. Okay? We go and slowly walk. We try to find a black stone. Okay? The black stone is the corner of the Kaaba, before the doors of the Kaaba, directly to the left of the doors. And that's when you start your count of tawaf. That's where we start our tawaf. It is sunnah to kiss the black stone. Likely you won't be able to kiss the black stone. Okay? Too many people. So then if you can't kiss it, to touch it with your hand. Likely you won't be able to touch it with your hand because too many people. Then if you can't touch it with your hand, touch it with a stick. Likely you won't walk into the haram with a stick to begin with. But I say this because the Prophet ﷺ did tawaf on top of the camel. So he obviously usually use a stick when you have, riding an animal. So you can, but today things are a little bit differently. So you don't make yourself an old lady or old man and I'm going to use a stick. It's too hard to get close to that. So if you can't, then what do? You raise your hand towards the black stone. You say, Bismillahi Wallahu Akbar. What do you say? Bismillahi Wallahu Akbar. I think it's easy to remember. Bismillahi Wallahu Akbar. And your hand is facing, your right hand is facing the Kaaba. You'll see all kinds of things. You see people doing this, people doing this, I just tell you very easy. Just say, Bismillahi Wallahu. Your left shoulder should be near the Kaaba. Your right shoulder is away from the Kaaba. The black stone is right there. And you will see it, identify it by the door of the Kaaba is directly after it. And there are green lights parallel. If this was the Kaaba over there, the Haram will have green lights on every floor and you can see them. And basically you know that that's where the black stone begins. You don't have to, they used to have a line for people. And people used to get so particular and like, Bismillah, Allah, and cause all these jams and traffic jams. And still people they took the line out. There was a different color marble, they took that out. So people stopped doing the jams. But people still are causing traffic jams because they're stopping and doing Bismillah Akbar. Please do not stop. When you go to tawaf, your feet should continue, to move. And not everybody has this education and preparedness, so you might find others, don't get mad at them. Just, thank Allah that Allah gave you someone to help you and explain things to you. Many people come from around the world spending their whole life savings and they've never had a person teach them. So you're fortunate, so come from a place of compassion and empathy. Bismillahi wallahu akbar, and then we say, اللهم إيمانا بك وتصديقا بكتابك ووفاء بعهدك واتباعا لسنة نبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم. Got it? You don't have to memorize all that, but if you're preparing for Hajj, put some effort. Okay? And then after that, make any dua you want. In Arabic, in English, read the Quran, Durood Sharif, Salat on the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Dua from a book, dua from your iPhone, dua from your Android, whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is your dua should be from your heart. You should have a presence of heart and mind. You should be begging Allah. You should be crying. You should be really like, Ya Allah. Okay? The last side of the Kaaba, that corner before the black stone corner is called the Yemeni corner. May Allah give freedom and prosperity for our brothers and sisters in Yemen and in Palestine and Sham and all over the world. So the Prophet ﷺ called that place, that corner, the Yemeni corner. So it is sunnah just to touch it, not to kiss it, not to take your ihram and rub it on it, not to take your hijab and don't do that. You find people do all kinds of things. We're explaining to you what you should and shouldn't do. So it's very hard in Hajj to touch it. You may be able to do it, but it's sunnah just to touch it. You get to the Yemeni corner or near it, and you start from there to the black stone making this special dua. رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ وَأَدْخِلْنَا الْجَنَّةَ مَعَ الْأَبْرَارِ بِرَحْمَتِكَ يَا عَزِيزُ يَا غَفَّارِ. And then by then, hopefully you're at the black stone. Bismillahi wallahu akbar. Now you finished one shout, one round. How many more you got to go? 6 more, right? MashaAllah, we already have people making difference of opinion. Right? Every time we do Hajj or Umrah, I always get someone says 5, someone says 4, someone says 6. I'm like, yeah, please, count to 7. So yeah, try to keep count, inshaAllah ta'ala. So you do 1, then you do a 2nd, then you do a 3rd. Being inspired from the dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us in the Quran about Hajj, this last dua that I just said, which is an ayah in Surah Al-Baqarah, most of it. When you make dua for dunya and akhirah. Don't just say, oh Allah, give me a Bentley and private jet in a big palace, and oh Allah, give me a beachside resort. MashaAllah, all this is great. Say it, and say more. Allah is super generous, beyond your imagination and mind. But don't forget the akhirah. Because the kuffar, the disbelievers during Jahiliyyah, used to make dua for all of these things and more. But they never used to make dua for akhirah. So Allah taught us, and He told us, some people say, oh Allah, give us in dunya, they have nothing in akhirah. The very next ayah, and those who ask and say, oh our Lord, provide us the best of this world and the best of the hereafter, and pardon us from the punishment of the hellfire. So therefore, make dua for dunya and akhirah. So all the dunya stuff, and then, oh Allah, Jannah. Oh Allah, no punishment in the grave. Oh Allah, no punishment on the sirat. Oh Allah, enter into Jannah, please, without being embarrassed in front of everybody. Oh Allah, forgive me, forgive my parents. And then start going outwards. Start with your family. Make dua for your spouse, for your children, for your parents, for your siblings, for your cousins, for your grandparents. And then go out to your friends, your community members here. Make dua for your Muslim community here. Make dua for the brothers and sisters that are devastated in Gaza, in Palestine, in Kashmir, in India, in Burma, in Yemen, all over the world. Make dua for Allah to put out the fitna in Sudan and in Libya. And just make dua for the Muslim ummah, and then make a general dua for all the Muslims, and then make dua for dunya and akhirah. The last thing I ask you, if you can, a humble request, please remember to make dua for yours truly. This is my only ask. If you can remember it, make dua for yours truly. And I would really appreciate it. And if you don't, no problem. I forgive you, and there's nothing to forgive. That being said, we do how many times around the Kaaba? 7 times. After the 7th time, there's Maqam Ibrahim, where the footsteps are imprinted of Ibrahim alayhi salam. I would recommend you see it. And don't, there's a way to do it without causing traffic jams and issues. Follow me, I'll help you do that, inshallah ta'ala. You look, you don't kiss, you don't rub, you just look. Okay, you see the footsteps, and you remember Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. What was he doing? He was building the Kaaba, along with his son Ismail. Hopefully this inspires you to build things for Islam, to do things to serve Allah's deen. And both of them, after they built the Kaaba, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded them and tasked them to purify the house, cleanse the house, and then call and invite people to the house. وَعَهِدْنَا إِلَىٰ إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَإِسْمَاعِيلَ أَنْ طَهِّرَ بَيْتِيَ لِلطَّائِفِينَ وَالْعَاكِفِينَ وَالرُّكَّعِ السُّجُودِ. Those who pray and do tawaf and sujood, and the locals and the visitors and so forth. This should inspire us. I told you we don't have time to do the spiritual and the ritual, so I'm trying to cover the rituals as much as possible. The spiritual, we'd be covering this for 45 minutes. So you go back charged to do something good. You understand? We're not just going task done. No. We want you to come back a better person, a more improved person, a changed person. That's a sign of the Hajj, by the way, being accepted, inshallah. May Allah accept from all of us. Say Ameen. After we're done, we find Maqam Ibrahim at a safe distance behind it. Don't be right in front of it and do pray. People are going to step on you, trample and so forth. Go all the way at a safe distance behind. Pray 2 rak'at. It is sunnah to recite after Fatiha, Qul ya ayyuhal kafirun in the first rak'ah, and after Fatiha in the second rak'ah to recite Qul huwallahu ahad. Do you have to do that? No. But if you remember, it's better. Fair enough? Now we're done with the second pillar. How many pillars are there for Umrah? 4. How many? 4. Inshallah, people are sleeping. 4. We did so far? 2. What's the first one? Call it Ihram from now on. What is the first one? Ihram. What does Ihram mean? Niyyah or intention. What's the first pillar? What is ihram? What's the second pillar? How many times? How many rak'ahs do you pray after that? Very good. Do you have to have wudu for ihram? Trick question. No. Do you have to have wudu for ihram? When you make the intention on your train in Medina, do you have to have wudu? No. No. The only thing required is to make intention. If you didn't shower and didn't clip your nails and didn't wear the ihram and you make the intention, you filled the requirement. You might have some penalties, but you've fulfilled the requirements. Clear? What if while I'm doing tawaf, I had to go to the restroom, or broke my wudu, or my child needed the restroom and I had to go, or an elder that was with me, their insulin levels dropped, or whatever, I had to take care of them, take them to an urgent care, or whatever it is. If you have completed, let's say 3, and you're on your 4th, you started your 4th already. Midway through the 4th, you had to stop for any of these reasons. Go, make wudu, come back, start the 4th again. If you already have wudu, but you had to tend to somebody else, you take care of them, come back, and start the 4th again. Then you finish. Don't go from the half. We don't do that from the beginning. Okay? What you shouldn't do is do a few, do 3, go to your hotel room, take a nap, come back, do 4. No, it doesn't work that way. These need to be consecutive unless there's an emergency. The next and third pillar of Umrah, he said as-sa'i. This is the Arabic word for moving. Okay? Where are you moving? Between Safa and Marwa. But it's sunnah to drink Zamzam before that. So once we finish the tawaf and we pray the 2 rak'at, I take you to Zamzam. We keep drinking. Face the Kaaba, stand and drink, and say Bismillah. Most drinks we do it sitting down. Zamzam we do it standing up. If you sat down and drank Zamzam, it's okay, no problem. Okay? So drink Zamzam. Say Bismillah. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Zamzam lima shuriba lah. Zamzam is whatever intention you have made. When you drink it, Allah will answer your dua. So make dua. You know how people say make a wish? You make wishes asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you drink. The Sahaba radiallahu anhum say one of the distinguishing factors between the munafiqeen and the believers, the hypocrites and the true believers, is one of them is that we love drinking Zamzam. And the hypocrites didn't like to drink Zamzam. So drink Zamzam. We go to the sa'i. We start from Safa. As-Safa. The mountain is called As-Safa. And the second one is called Al-Marwa. They're both mentioned in the Quran. They used to be a lot bigger, but they were chiseled down to make several stories or floors. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إن الصفا والمروة من شعائر الله فمن حج البيت أو اعتمر فلا جناح عليه أن يطوف بهما ومن تطوع خيرا فإن الله شاكر عليم. Safa and Marwa are from the rituals Allah has assigned and so forth. We start from Safa. You don't have to climb all the way to the top every time. I like to start the first one that way, and then from there you don't have to go all the way up. You can just, the base of it, go take a step and do a turn. When you're climbing up or down the Safa, you should say, إِنَّ الصَّفَا وَالْمَرْوَةَ مِنْ شَعَائِرِ اللَّهِ فَمَنْ حَجَّ الْبَيْتَ أَوْ اعْتَمَرَ فَلَا جُنَاحَ عَلَيْهِ أَن يَطَّوَّفَ بِهِمَا وَمَنْ تَطَوَّعَ خَيْرًا فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ شَاكِرٌ عَلِيمٌ. Remember this ayah, memorize this ayah. Please increase your knowledge a little bit between now and Hajj. When you come down from As-Safa, shortly after you'll see the green lights on top. That's where Sayyidah Hajar alayhi salam was running. So you may run. And you get to the end of that and you walk and you continue to make dua. Dua from your heart. She needed sustenance and she needed safety and company. You need to tailor-make your dua for your needs in the same spirit and desperation of Hajar alayhi salam. Clear? Clear? You go to Marwa, when you're going up to Al-Marwa, you say, Inna as-Safa wal-Marwa min sha'a'ir Allah. You come back the same way. You can make any dua, read the Quran, Durood Sharif, Salat on the Prophet ﷺ, dua in Urdu, in Arabic, in English, in Uzbek, in whatever language you want. Just have state of mind and heart. We go from Safa to Marwa, that's one. We go from Al-Marwa to As-Safa, that's 2. You go from As-Safa to Marwa, that's 3. Do you understand? So you started at Safa, where do you end after 7? You end at Al-Marwa. So 1, 2, 3, okay, don't do doubles. All right? Do you have to have, and how many times do we go? 7. Do you have to have wudu in sa'i? The answer is no. Okay, so if you broke your wudu, you don't need to go anywhere and make wudu, you can continue. That's the conclusion of the third pillar. How many pillars do we have for Umrah? 4. What's the first one? Ihram. What is Ihram? What's the second one? Tawaf. Do you have to have wudu? Yes. How many times do you go around the Kaaba? We start from the black stone and end with the black stone and finish with 2 rak'ah. After that we drink some Zamzam, go to Sa'i between Safa and Marwa. How many times? Do you have to have wudu? Very good. The last part of Umrah, according to the Shafi'i madhab, is that you need to get out of that restriction by way of cutting the hair, or clipping the hair, or shaving the head. Okay? Some people just snip a couple of hairs and they feel that they're done. I don't make that recommendation. I say, brothers, get your whole hair cut. You have 2 options, shorten your hair or shave your head. These are the 2 options we have for the brothers. For the sisters, just you need to do qadra mullah, about a half an inch from the bottom of your hair. Okay? You grab all of it, put it in like a ponytail or something, and then you take a scissor, take that, pack that with you. Don't put it in your backpack or in your carry-on. They will throw it away. You need to put it in your checked-in luggage. And you go to the bottom, just about half an inch, and you clip, and you're done. You could do that for yourself, or you could do that for another sister. Here's a question that repeatedly gets asked, and I don't know where this comes from, but it's every time. Can I cut the sister's hair if I'm still in ihram and I didn't cut my hair? Yes. Can the husband do it before he cut his hair? Yes. Whoever's cutting the hair, there's no requirement for them. It doesn't matter if they did tawaf, didn't do tawaf, they're in ihram, they're not doing hajj, they're not in ihram, it doesn't matter. Okay? Just don't go to a stranger asking them to cut your hair. Your brother or your husband or your son or yourself or your other Muslim sister, inshallah. For the brothers, all the hair should be shortened, all of the hair. So you go to the barber, you explain to him what you need, all of it to be shortened. That's if you want to be, mashallah, yani, Shah Rukh Khan and all the people that want to keep their hair. And those who want to shave their heads, then you have your entire head shaved. The barber shops there all have disposable blades. They will use it one time, throw it away, so you're good to go. It's no longer like back in decades ago. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he made dua for those who shaved their heads. He said, Allahumma ghfir lil muhalliqeen. Oh Allah, forgive those who shaved their heads, meaning for Umrah or Hajj. One of the Sahaba radiallahu anhu was probably like you. May Allah have us with them in Jannah. Say Ameen. He loved his hair, so he said, Wal muqassirina ya Rasulullah. How about those who just shorten their hair? O Messenger of Allah. The Prophet ﷺ repeated himself, said, Allahumma ghfir lil muhalliqeen. Oh Allah, forgive those who shave their heads. He said, Wal muqassirina ya Rasulullah. How about those who just shorten? The Prophet ﷺ said, Allahumma ghfir lil muhalliqeen. Oh Allah, forgive those who shave their heads. He said, Wal muqassirina ya Rasulullah. How about those who just shorten their hair? The Prophet ﷺ said, Wal muqassirin. And those who shorten. So you get 3 times the dua. Of course, we don't make fun of you if you don't shave your head. Only I get to do that. But you may, as long as you fill the requirement, which is all the hair should be shortened. Don't do the snip. You'll find a lot of people, snip, snip, you're good to go. Don't do that. All the hair needs to be shortened. Shorten it, 5 millimeters, more, whatever, that's your choice. But all the hair needs to be done. What if you shaved your head and you went and did another Umrah the next day, or did Hajj 2 days later or the next day? The blade goes over your head. The barbers know what you're doing. You have like very little hair that goes away, khalas, you're fine. If you're completely bald, not a single hair on your head, then the blade goes over your head. Fair enough? With that, you're done with Umrah. No restrictions. You can go, you can be intimate with your wife, you can, put on your favorite clothes, put on your favorite cologne or perfume. You can do all of these good things. No restrictions. With that, we're done with Umrah. Now, you have no restrictions. Okay? So one thing, once you get a pouch like this, if you do, make sure you wear it. Make sure you wear it the entire time. From the time you land in, or even before that, from the time you leave your house here. Because a lot of times people will identify you. Like if I'm an imam and I see someone wearing this, I'll walk up to them, do you need any help? Even if they're my group, not a group, I know they're going to Hajj. You might get a lot of that assistance. And when you go to the haram, take one of these with you. A string backpack, a string bag. This will help you tremendously. If you choose to take off your shoes, by the way, you can do tawaf with your slippers. Okay? Yeah, shocking, right? You can pray with your slippers, you can walk with your slippers around the Kaaba. I actually don't take mine off when I'm walking around the Kaaba. It's much more comfortable, much more comfortable. If you choose to take it off, that's fine, it's your choice. But you can walk around with shoes as long as they don't have visible najasa. So even if you walked into a public bathroom, walking with your shoes purifies it. In the fiqh of tahara, simply using your shoes purifies your shoes. Anyhow, you put your shoes in here. Say you go to the Prophet ﷺ's masjid. We don't walk with shoes inside there because there's carpet. So you put it in here, put it on, and you basically walk anywhere. And when you're done, take it out and you go. If you put it on those racks, sometimes people take the shoes by mistake. Someone has weak eyesight. They have matching shoes. Or you forget. Why do that? Take one of these. Okay? We're done with Umrah. Now, we are in Mecca. Chilling, right? The 8th day of Dhul Hijjah. Now we're ready for Hajj. 8th day of Dhul Hijjah. It's called Yawm al-Tarwiyah. This is when the Hujjaj, again, the pillars of Hajj are also how many? 4. How many pillars for Hajj? 4. These guys are like, oh my God, he's going to spend another hour on these. No. That's why I covered Umrah, because it's going to be very easy. The first one is the same as Umrah. What is it called? Ihram. What is it called? What is Ihram? Same thing that we talked about before. If you go to UAE, I have a cousin that's there. We talk on the phone. He says there's a lot of brothers from India and Pakistan and Bangladesh. And they don't speak Arabic. And they don't speak very fluent English either, and a lot of brothers from the Middle East don't also speak fluent English. So they try to manage when they communicate. So one of the famous phrases, if you've been there long enough, you know, it's called same. This is same. So same is a very famous phrase. So yes, meaning the same thing. Okay. Same thing. So there's same. Like it's the same. Okay, that's a very famous phrase there for some reason. So, ihram for Umrah is same. Is the same as ihram for Hajj. The difference is you're now a Mecca resident. Once you're done, you're a Mecca resident. You finished your Umrah, you got out of. You shower in your own hotel room. You wear your ihram with the niyyah that you're going for Hajj. Now you make the niyyah. لبيك اللهم بحج فتقبله مني فإن حبسني حابس فمحلي حيث حبستني. It's a long version. I'll explain what that means for you later. The requirement is, oh Allah, here I am making the intention of ihram for Hajj. Oh Allah, accept it from me. Say in Urdu, Arabic, English, doesn't matter. Okay? From that moment, you're in a state of restriction. Once you say the niyyah. You will be taken to Mina, likely, okay? You're in Mina for that day. Sometime that morning, early morning, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 5 a.m., whatever your group schedule is, they'll tell you, let's get ready, we're heading to, where are we heading? Arafat. So Hajj has how many pillars? 4. The first one is called? Ihram. What is Ihram? Niyyah. What's the first one? Ihram. You did the ihram already from your hotel in Mecca. You go to Mina. And then from Mina, you're heading to Arafat. Arafat is the second pillar. And is the most time-sensitive pillar. Okay? The Prophet ﷺ said, Hajj is Arafat. Meaning, it's the most sensitive. Pay attention. Okay? It's very important. So we go to Arafat. In Arafat, we arrive depending on your time, but the time we should be there, generally, ideally speaking, ideally, you can underline that word, is from zawal, meaning from dhuhr, till maghrib, till past maghrib, post maghrib. Okay, that's the time we're supposed to be in Arafah. If someone has special reasons, that's a different story. We're talking about the norm. From dhuhr till past maghrib, not maghrib, past maghrib. So what happens is, in there we will pray 2 rak'at dhuhr and jam' with 2 rak'at asr, jam' and qasr. At dhuhr time we pray both. And then there's a khutbah after prayer about Arafat. Okay, like Eid. Okay, we talk. You find an imam come, multiple imams, multiple khutbahs, whatever. Okay, collective dua from different, each tent. Sometimes you have 2,000 people in a tent, 5,000 people in a tent, 1,000 people. So you get an imam who walks in there, you make dua. Would you like me to tell you the story of my Hajj in 2015? You want to hear that? So I'm performing Hajj with Darus Salam, may Allah bless them. They're awesome. And the imams meet and they decide who goes to which tent. There's many tents. There are multiple sister tents and multiple brother tents. So we're talking about a tent that has multiple thousand people in there. So they say, Imam, you go to the ladies' tent over there, that tent. Whatever number it was, number 4 or something. Okay, I know what to do. I'm going, pray dhuhr, lead them dhuhr and asr, and then I give a khutbah, then I make collective dua. So I finish, and then sometime later, in 2016, this was 2015 Hajj, 2016, I interview here and I'm offered the position, and I come here for a welcome brunch or something in the gymnasium. And while I'm there, I see Dr. Shahla Malik, and she was in Hajj during that time with Sheikh Firaz. And I had seen them there. I don't know who they are. I don't remember their names, but I remember their face. She says, yeah, I was with you in Hajj. I said, yes. She was like, you came to our tent in Arafat. I said, yes. She said, you made a nice khutbah and dua. I said, alhamdulillah, may Allah accept. She said, at that moment I made dua. I said, oh Allah, bring us an imam like him. I swear to you, it's a true story. From that point on, every time I say, please make dua for me. Please make dua for me. I kid you not. So, we stay in Arafat. You can rest if you get early, you didn't sleep at night, you're tired, you can get some rest. You know, they give you these little places to sit down and you can make it into a bed most of the time. And then you can eat, hydrate, there are restrooms, use the restroom, you know, read Quran, make istighfar, make dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, dua. Like I said, do I have to repeat myself? Same, right? Lots of dua, lots of, Ya Allah. Especially between Asr and Maghrib. Especially between Asr and Maghrib. That's when people get out, man, and just find a spot under a tree, away from a tree, whatever, just Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah. Okay? If you can't stand long, it's okay. You can sit down, you can lay down, you can remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Laying down is okay. الَّذِينَ يَذْكُرُونَ اللَّهَ قِيَامًا وَقُعُودًا وَعَلَى جُنُوبِهِمْ. But if you have the energy and, that's why you got to manage and pay attention. Like go to your group leader, if they're experienced, they'll tell you, hey, take some rest right now. It's a good time to rest in the beginning because you want to have that energy afterwards, right? Don't sit there from 10 a.m., you're there, Ya Allah, okay, mashallah, I hope you can be, 10 p.m. ready to do that. So you have to manage yourself. Until Maghrib. Maghrib time comes, we don't leave. Once Maghrib is over, we don't pray Maghrib yet. You go with your group leaders, they'll take you in droves, they'll take you in groups. They have walkie-talkies, they have system. It's very important to follow direction. People actually get hurt and sometimes even die when they don't follow direction. So you want to make sure that you follow direction. There's no stampedes, no wrong. So don't sneak away. Oh, I want to go to the mountain of Arafah or mountain of Rahman, this and that. You go, you come back 3 days later, we find you. Okay? Because everything looks the same. So please follow directions. We leave after Maghrib. When your turn comes, you follow your leader. They have, signs and all of that until they take you to the train station. This is where I really need to prepare you mentally. So far, Hajj is a breeze. So far, Hajj is a breeze. From this point, Hajj is difficult. From this point, Hajj is difficult. The Prophet ﷺ said, Hajj is the jihad of the elderly, weak, and women. So you're really going there, striving. Okay? So far, no striving at this point in Hajj. When you're standing there, I remember standing, I think, either 4 to 6 hours, not moving. Just taking one step every so many minutes to climb up to get to the train so we can go from Arafat to Muzdalifah. Do you understand what 4 to 6 hours on a space from here to the door? Yeah, and I'm young, and you're sitting there like, it's painful. Okay? If you're not hydrated, people sometimes can faint. So have a bottle of water in your backpack. Okay? Eat well. Don't sit there, listen to people, please. Again, when we're traveling together, I'll explain more things and prepare you. But like, don't eat. Don't listen to them. Okay? Eat. But there's some things not to eat and some things to eat. Okay? When you have that big buffet, we can just stay away from all the salads. Oh my God, no, he's not anti-salad. But every time you eat those salads, especially with those dressings and anything that can spoil, you get diarrhea. Okay? Because it's 120 degrees. Even if they took it right out of there, 20 minutes in that weather, good luck. So what do you want to eat? You want to eat the rice, the biryanis, the kapsas, the bananas, those things, eat, no problem. But, the things that they're more dry. Stay away from the salans and the, soupy stuff and the salads and the mayonnaise stuff and all that. You find a lot of that, you stay away from that. That's basically 2 cents when it comes to food. But you need to eat. If you don't eat and you unfortunately get those 4-hour stand or 6-hour stand, you're going to suffer. And there's no buffet when you're standing there. So you need to really manage yourself and ask me if you have any personal questions and I'll try to assist you. Anyhow, that's when it gets tough. So alhamdulillah, it improved after that. The first time they used the train, we were the first group outside Saudis to use the train. And it was really rough to get onto the train and off. But the last time I went in 2019, it only took us 1 hour. So that distance, instead, went from 4 to 6 hours to 1 hour. So alhamdulillah. But 1 hour, you still need to prepare yourself. You see, if you weren't prepared, you're sitting there going, oh my God, what is the matter with them? And then you lose your cool, you lose your Hajj, why? When you're prepared, I may possibly stand here for quite a long time. If it's shorter, then alhamdulillah, you're easy, right? So kind of have lower expectations. You get on the train, you go off to where? Muzdalifah, right? And from Muzdalifah, we are supposed to stay there till Fajr, ideally speaking. Okay? Ideally speaking, we stay there till Fajr. They'll take you to where you need to go. There's no tents. Okay? In 2015, it was rocks. 2019, we had some space with some carpeting in a parking lot. So you need to prepare yourself for that. It could be as simple as someone handing you a sleeping bag and telling you sleep on it, or it could be something a little bit nicer where there's some carpet and you can have a fresh sheet and pillow. Either way, you stay there till Fajr. When we get there, we pray Maghrib and Isha. 3 for Maghrib, 2 for Isha. Jami' and Qasr. Got it? After that, find some space, lay down, sleep. The brother is on one side, the sister on one side. They usually have them in different spots. Sometimes you might have a big hall like space like this. Sisters go to that side and sleep. Brothers go to that side and sleep. Okay? Try to get some rest. Remember Allah. Look at the sky for the first time you're sleeping outdoors. Remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Thank Allah. Make dua. Allah tells us, فإذا أفضتم من عرفات فاذكروا الله عند المشعر الحرام واذكروه كما هداكم وإن كنتم من قبله لمن الضالين. And when you leave from Arafat, remember Allah at the Mash'ar al-Haram, which is Muzdalifah. And remember Him as He has guided you, even if you were misguided in the past. So Allah is telling us to remember Him, to praise Him. These are the times to do that, okay? But do that as you're also getting some rest, because you need to manage. Wake up before Fajr. Set your phones, your alarms. You can take your charging phone bank, whatever. So make sure you set your alarm, you know when Fajr is going to be, and you're ahead of time. Because many people are going to be in the bathrooms. You want to be ahead of time. Go use the restroom, make wudu, brush your teeth. Okay? Then you come back. And then we pray Fajr and we head out. Get back on the train. It's going to be a bit rough to get onto the train. Then the train is going to take us to Mina. Okay? So ideally speaking, we're not talking about fragile, elderly, sick. No, we're talking about average folks. You stay in Muzdalifah till Fajr. Okay? We go to Mina. The train is going to drop you off. You're going to walk. There's only one-way traffic. And you go, you're going to find the 3 jamarat. In Muzdalifah, if you can use that time, pick some pebbles. So we're going to have, let's count together. We have 3 stations. So we're going to do, let's assume for 3 days. Okay? 7 at each station. Times 3 is 21. Times 3 is going to be 63. Plus 7? 70. So pack 70 stones. Put them in a little pouch, put them in a water bottle or whatever works for you. Do you have to have it from Muzdalifah? No, you can have it from anywhere. But where are you going to grab stones when you're on a train? This is your opportunity, okay? So try to have it when you're there. So when we land off the train or get off the train, we walk, you're going to find the first jamra. It's like a half wall, and this is the first jamra. We don't throw anything. This is the small one. It's called the small one. It's not small anymore. They rebuilt it. The second one, we don't do anything. The third one, that's one we say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. We throw 7 times. The stone, try to have it hit that wall. The intention is, I will reject every attempt of the shaitan and temptation, and I'm going to be a slave to Allah. Ibrahim alayhi salam, shaitan was telling him, don't kill your son, don't sacrifice your son, you crazy, this and that. And Ibrahim alayhi salam, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, and he would throw stones at the shaitan. Shaitan is going to come tell you, why should you live an interest-free life? Have riba, finances, this many percent. Go, you can multiply your business. You can get luxury this. You can do this, finance. Live in debt like the rest of the American society when Islam wants us to free people from slavery. You understand? You have to think, Allahu Akbar. You're throwing this? Oh Allah. The temptation of the shaitan. Shaitan telling me not to dress modestly. Shaitan is telling me to use bad words or not have, control. Shaitan is telling me to use riba. Shaitan is telling me not to pray in the masjid. Shaitan, and you're Allahu Akbar. I'm not going to do that. Do you understand? 7 times, and then you go to your tent, your camp in Mina. Okay? This is the day of Eid. This is the morning of Eid. The morning of Eid we have what we call the things the to-do list of Eid. Okay? What are the to-do list of Eid? Pay attention, we're almost done. The to-do list of Eid, number 1 is throwing those 7 pebbles at that 3rd station. That's number 1. Number 2, we sacrifice an animal. Why do we need to sacrifice an animal? It's not Eid. This is different. This is not Udhiyah. It's not Bakra Eid sacrifice. It's not that one. This is, do you remember early on when I said if you go to Mecca to perform 2 rituals, Umrah and Hajj, you have to sacrifice an animal if you do that. If you only do Hajj, no Umrah, then no sacrifice is required. Do you understand? This is called Hadi. You got it? Because most of us, take our precious vacation time, pay thousands of dollars, go all the way thousands of miles away. You think we just want to do Hajj only? Do Umrah and another Umrah and a third Umrah and a fourth Umrah, right? If you can. Obviously, the fatwa in Saudi, by the way, is no, only 1 Umrah for 1 Hajj. That is true. But that's the Saudis and the locals. They can do every weekend the Umrah. For you, maybe it's 1 time in your life. So there's flexibility, but there's restriction on the time where you do Umrah. So you can do it before you get into the ihram of Hajj and after you're done with the 3 days of Mina. But in the time between those, you cannot. Okay? Let's fast forward. The things to do on the day of Eid. Number 1, throw the pebbles. Number 2, the animal needs to be sacrificed. Most of your packages, and you need to double check that, that's your responsibility, that it's included and someone sacrifices on your behalf. If that's the case, then you don't need to do anything. The third thing is cutting the hair or shaving the head. If you do those three things, then you are minority restriction lifted, meaning التحلل الأصغر. Meaning you can wear this, you can put on, perfume, you can shower with shampoo that's scented, all of that. You have almost no restrictions. You have one restriction. Pay attention, this is not a joke. This is a make or break. You have one restriction. You cannot be intimate with your spouse until you do the fourth thing. So you can do everything else. You can wear regular clothes, shampoo, you can cut your hair, clip your nails, you can all of that. But no intimacy. If you do these three things first, that's when you're out of the state of the minor ihram. Once you have the last and final pillar of Hajj, is tawaf, al-ifadah, and sa'i. For those that have sa'i remaining. So after we're done with that, you're in the minor state of restriction lifted, with the exception of what I said. Some people, most of you are going to be in that, have the hotel room the whole time. You think you can go, and then you mess that up. Guess what happens? Seriously, this is not a joke. If you have intimacy with your spouse before you finish all the activities of Eid, all of them, your Hajj is nullified. And you have to come back the next year and perform Hajj again, because it doesn't count. And you still have to finish the rituals for that year that didn't count. And according to some madhahib, you have to sacrifice a camel on your behalf and a camel on her behalf. And all that doesn't count. You understand? So when we say pay attention, it's serious, okay? But after that, your group is going to tell you when we're going to go to Mecca to perform the last and final pillar, which is tawaf. This is the Hajj tawaf now. This is the pillar of Hajj, not the Umrah, tawaf. Same thing, but this is the Hajj. 7 times, 2 rak'at, and then you do sa'i between Safa and Marwa. With that, now you can be intimate, you can do whatever you want. Okay? But you still you need to spend some time in Mina, 2 or 3 days. Okay? In Mina. So we go back to Mina. These are called the days of Mina. It's part of the ritual to spend minimally, because I see a lot of slacking in this one. I don't know how you're accountable for your Hajj. Minimally half of the night in Mina for each night. Meaning, from the time of Maghrib to the time of Fajr, count the hours, divide by 2, and add an extra minute. Minimum, a little bit over the half. That's what you need to spend in Mina every night. I'm going to say that again. The time of Maghrib, time of Fajr, count those hours, half, add an extra minute. At least that much should be spent in Mina. Nighttime. It's called al-mabit bi Mina. It's called spending the night in Mina. This is not the time to go to the haram and pray tahajjud. Okay? This is a time to be in Mina. And by the way, bonus for you, the Mina times from the 8th day all the way on, 2 rak'at for each prayer. 2 dhuhr, 2 asr, 3 maghrib, 2 isha. Okay? But in its proper times. Hajj has 4 pillars. Ihram is number 1. Arafah is number 2. Tawaf is number 3. Sa'i is number 4. And then we're done. Very similar to Umrah. We just have one extra pillar. What is it? Arafat. That's it. Got it? Was it worth it to explain all the other stuff to you? Ahead of, about Umrah and all of that so you can understand? There's some things that are wajibat. The tawaf al-wada'. For Hajjis, you must perform tawaf al-wada'. If you don't, you have a sacrifice to make. That's the last thing you do before you leave. You don't have to have ihram. You go to Mecca, do tawaf 7, 2 rak'at, goodbye, farewell. I pray that Allah brings me back again to Mecca. Oh, Allah accept from us, and you get on your bus and head out to the airport. Okay? This is basically simplifying Hajj as simply as possible. And mashallah, we were able to do it before Isha. And now we have questions. And I have on Slido, we have questions that you have sent to me. I will go through them as quickly as possible, inshallah ta'ala. And if you have any questions that I didn't answer, go ahead and ask inshallah. But let me go through these first. The first one, Bismillah. Can I wear ihram to enter the Kaaba floor even though I am not planning to do Umrah? The government allows only men with ihram to enter into the ground floor. That is true. To manage the traffic, they only allow men with ihram to enter into the ground, called Sahnul Kaaba, the ground floor, next to the Kaaba. It's the coolest view, right? So if you're not wearing the two white sheets, the ladies, they don't bother. But the men, if you're wearing clothes, they grab you, so please go pray on the second, third, fourth floor. Can't go down there, give space for the Hajjis. Okay? So people play a trick. They wear their white sheets. They're not in ihram. And most of the time they even wear boxers underneath. And they go to the Kaaba. Can you do that? Yes, you can. Okay? Yes, you can. The second one, if we try to make amends with people before going to Hajj, and they are either not receptive or didn't say the words that they forgive you, what should you do? Just continue to be kind. You did your part. And please do it genuinely. Some people think, just can't stand you, forgive me. And no, it doesn't work that way. You need to be a little bit nicer. And if you owe them anything, then repay them. And if you did some verbal damage, make sure you as effectively say nice things and good things about them to counter the negativity that you spewed and toxicity around them and about them. The next question is, what kind of shoes are allowed for men while in ihram? There seems to be multiple opinions about that, so was thinking to follow our local Imam. I think I covered that, and any shoes that's open from the back. Okay? With stitches, without stitches, doesn't matter. Can men wear purses in ihram to carry personal belongings such as phones and money? The answer is yes, you can wear that purse, you can wear a fanny pack, you can wear a face mask. Actually, I would recommend putting a couple of face masks in your pouch and wear them when things are really congested or when you start hearing people cough, especially Medina. In the Prophet ﷺ's masjid, you would notice that people are having whooping coughs. And you're like, what's going on? So I always keep in my pocket an extra face mask. Even in salah, if you forget to put it on before and you're in salah and some guy is coughing near you, put your hand in your pocket and put your face mask in the middle of salah, save yourself. Okay? You can wear face mask, you can wear ring, you can wear a watch, you can wear sunglasses, you can wear a backpack or string bag, all these are fine. Okay? Here's some general advice. Around the Kaaba and in the Haram, and especially in the outside marble, outside the Haram, many people are walking carrying things on their feet, public bathrooms and things like that. So when salah time comes, it looks nice, it looks and appears clean. You do sujood and the Imam takes a little bit longer and you inhale. Every year I would do Umrah or Hajj, I would get sick because of that. That severe congestion and sinus and all of that. Sinus infection. I realized anytime you're doing sujood, please, in that string bag, have a janimaz, have a sijjada, have a prayer rug. When it's prayer time, even if you're in front of the door of the Kaaba, take it out, put it on the floor, pray on your own prayer rug, anywhere. Inside the Haram or outside the Haram. This way, when you inhale, it's at least helping you not inhale the stuff that's on the floor. It visibly seems clean, but every time I inhaled, I usually got sick. So please, keep that prayer rug, it's a big help. And face masks. For Umrah, can we wear orthopedic sandals in the Haram while performing Umrah to minimize plantar fasciitis? I was thinking of keeping two pairs, one for in and one for out. Yes, you can, like I said, walk around the Kaaba with shoes. The men's kind of shoes in Ihram I explained. Outside Ihram you can wear any shoes as long as it's clean. And clean means visibly clean. It doesn't have like something feces on it that you can identify. And can you Walk into the haram with shoes? Yes. Can you pray with shoes? Yes. Can you do tawaf and sa'i with shoes? Yes. Whether it's orthopedic or not, whether you have a health issue or not. Assalamu alaikum, Imam Musa. My name is Kaza Kaza. I am trying to get full information about Hajj this year. Inshallah, next year for you, inshallah. This year, Hajj, you have to do at least 8 months in advance. Go to nusuk.hajj.sa or hajj.nusuk.sa. Google it up and then see what you need to do. You need to sign up online if you're traveling from the US. The next one, I want to do tamattu', but my stay is in Medina first. Do I have to do Umrah immediately upon arrival? When do I start my intention before and after Medina? So you make your ihram, you wear it in your hotel room, you make intention before you leave or cross the miqat. Your miqat from there is called Dhul Hulayfa, also known as Abyar Ali. Once you actually make the intention, you should just make it in your hotel room as you're leaving, and that's when you are in the state of ihram. Once you get to Mecca, if you have the energy, then do it. If you're tired, you may rest a little bit and then go up and do it. But don't delay it for several days or something. Just usually people are hyped up, they go and perform their umrah. But if you're tired or sick, you may rest a little bit and then go on. But you are still in the state of ihram. Don't forget that, and don't cover your head intentionally. Can you use toothpaste? Or do you need to get unscented toothpaste? No, toothpaste is fine. Get the strongest kind. While you're in ihram, you can use toothpaste. Is this allowed in ihram? Peppermint essential oil? Stay away from oils that have scent when you're in the state of ihram. Before you wear your ihram, you can put on whatever scents you want, call it oil or essential or whatever. But after that, no scented anything. And by the way, all of this is for the normal, the healthy. But if someone has a special circumstance, a health condition, they need to talk to us privately and we'll tell you what you need to do. The next question, is it really necessary or to ask forgiveness from people before you go to Hajj, or is it just a custom? Ya akhi, we want Allah to forgive us, and we want, if we owe anybody anything, to make sure that we take care of that. So if there's any differences, make sure you iron that. This is an opportunity. Ya akhi, lift that heavy burden from your shoulders. We're much better when things are good. And when things are not, it's heavy, you're carrying it, whether you know it or not. So try to, if you owe anybody anything, you pay it. This is an opportunity, actually. If you have wrongfully taken someone's possession or property or wealth, you can do 1,000,000 hajjs. If you don't return their rightful possessions that you've taken wrongfully, you're in trouble. So all the brothers that cheat their sisters in their inheritance, all the brothers or uncles that play games, you can do all the hajj you want. You need to give back their belongings. If you don't, you're going to pay it blood and sweat and hasanat on the Day of Judgment. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Is it okay for parents to wait till their kids become older and they all go as a family? Or Islam counts on individual responsibility to go as soon as possible. Individual responsibility as soon as possible. You have responsibilities, you take care of your responsibilities. Some people may and some people may not be able to manage. Each person and family has their own unique situation. So let's say you have trusted family members, or you have trusted friends that can take care of your young children for the 1 or 2 weeks that you're gone, or for the couple of weeks that you're gone. And you have the opportunity, go perform Hajj and hand your kids to trusted family members or friends that can take care of them for the 2 weeks that you're gone. Don't say, I'm going to wait for the next 20 years until they finish college. Don't do that. Some people may not have any friends or family that can take care of their kids. Then obviously take care of your responsibilities until you get the opportunity. But you should work on yourself and creative and learn from each other's best practices and things that worked and things that didn't, and figure out how you can actually go to Hajj sooner than later. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Man arada al-Hajj falyu'ajjil." One who wants to perform Hajj, hurry up and do it, because you don't know what might happen. Sallallahu alayka ya Sayyidi ya Rasulullah. And we saw that. Before COVID, anybody from America can go to Hajj. After COVID, good luck. You can be anybody or whoever. You're not going unless Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it easy for you to go. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept and make it easy for everyone to go. The next question, do the Hajjis need to cut their nails and shave their body? Ya akhi, what happened? I think people keep voting things and they keep moving. So give me just a moment. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. For men, is it permissible to wear underwear while you're in ihram? The answer is no. Unless you have a health condition, you can talk to us. But if for no health reason, no. Oh yes, this is important. Difference between a miserable Hajj and a pleasant Hajj. It's anti-chafing cream or stick. I would highly recommend for all the brothers and any of the sisters that choose to use it, that's their choice as well. But we say the brothers because they can't wear underclothing. Something called Body Glide. Again, I don't get paid for this. The brand is Body Glide. It's a blue stick. Buy that and pay every penny. It costs like $10. Get it. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it anywhere. Body Glide. There are other name brands, but I highly recommend Body Glide. It's a stick like a deodorant stick, and you put it, people that run marathons and stuff put it on their body. You put it on your inner thighs. And you can go do 5 umrahs and 2 hajjs, and you're fine. You can reapply it whenever you want to. It's non-scented. Big game changer. So you'll find people walking like a penguin, and you'll find people walking with a smile. That's Body Glide. Commercial right there. طيب. Do the Hajjis need to cut their nails and shave their body hair before first of Dhul Hijjah? For the Hajjis, you have a different category of things to do. I get these questions. When you're in Hajj, you're not like the person not in Hajj. So in Hajj, the Prophet ﷺ didn't fast the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah in Hajj. Okay? When you're not in Hajj, yes, the Prophet ﷺ fasted. Okay? So these are different things. So not cutting your nails and not cutting your hair, that doesn't apply. You're in Hajj, different than somebody else. If you're in Ihram, you don't cut your nails in it. But if you're outside Ihram during those days, you can go do Umrah, you can cut your hair, all these, no problem. Okay? هذا والله أعلى وأعلم. Is mouthwash permissible during Hajj? Yes, please brush your teeth, Hajj or not. And use mouthwash if you like. Can you wear Ihram in Jeddah if you're making a stop in Jeddah to see family first? If you're going for Hajj or Umrah, then your Ihram depends on where you're flying from and where you're arriving from. So I explained most of us are in Medina first, so you know it's Dhul Hulayfa. But if you're flying into Jeddah with the intention of going from Jeddah to Umrah or Hajj, then your Ihram is outside Jeddah before you arrive in the plane. And you need to get an Ihram before that. Family members, you can figure that out after you're done with your Umrah or your Hajj. هذا والله أعلم. Can you please elaborate on shoes restrictions? What minimum part needs to be uncovered? The back. So if you have sneakers, you're going to have to step on the back and ruin them and make them look like Crocs. But you can buy something now and have a spare pair, because sometimes shoes get lost or tear, and they will help you a lot if you have an extra pair. We're almost done with the questions, mashallah. I see a lot of people filming and calling their relatives and while doing tawaf. Doesn't invalidate their tawaf. No, it doesn't invalidate their tawaf. Sometimes it even motivates others to come. There are cousins, there are family members. Sometimes, I have a mother that, Allah give her shifa. She cannot do tawaf on her own 2 feet. She cannot. It's very difficult for her to travel. So, but she loves Hajj and she loves Umrah. She did Hajj when she was 9 months pregnant in me. And she did, mashallah, Umrahs and Hajj. So if sometimes I'll open the video and show it to her, show her the Kaaba. Now, does it have to be during Tawaf or outside Tawaf? It's something up to your judgment. But if someone wants to do it during that time, it's okay. It doesn't invalidate your Tawaf. I'm not saying you need to put on your phone and turn on your camera. But if someone does it invalidate their tawaf? The answer is no. Okay? Can they record? Can they take pictures, selfie? That's fine. Just don't be ridiculous, that's all. Just do things, but just do things in a nice way. We all like to take a group picture after we're done with tawaf. You know, we go to a safe place, it's very memorable. We send it even here in our groups, I always send it to you guys. So it's okay to do these personal, things, but it doesn't invalidate it, to make a long story short. The last question that I have here, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Shaykh, inshallah, we are in the group that you are leading. Allahu Akbar. May Allah have us in the group that will go to the Jannah together. Ameen. We are very excited about it. I have knee injury. Can I wear a knee brace? Yes, you can wear a knee brace. During tawaf, if this knee brace is similar to like clothing, something like that, like some knee sock or whatever they call those, then you just do a penalty. And your penalty would be فَفِدْيَةٌ مِّن صِيَامٍ أَوْ صَدَقَةٍ أَوْ نُسُكٍ. You would fast 3 days or feed, I believe, 4 miskeens in Mecca. And I can show you where to feed them. There's a place you can buy the meals and you can pay them. And there's a big restaurant next to, actually in the Dar al-Tawheed Intercontinental, the closest hotel to the Kaaba. There's a restaurant there that all it does is feed miskeens. And you have lines and lines of people standing to eat. And you just give them, it's 10 riyals or something like that per person. They'll tell you, I'll tell you when we get there. And then you can just give your 40 riyals and they take care of that for you. So it's your choice, fasting 3 days, or feeding 4 miskeens, or sacrificing an animal, which will probably be the most expensive, like $200-300. So you use whichever one is easiest for you. Bismillah. That's it. Where can I find the best food? This is not a religious question right now. Inshallah ta'ala. I will help you. I will assist you in that, inshallah ta'ala. I do have some ideas and some spots, inshallah. But we can do that together, inshallah. We can share some of that information and actually share, help others. If you know there's abayas for ladies at this particular store that's really good price and good quality, put what I do is I take a picture of the card and I send it with the store owner's name and number and everything on it, and I send it in my WhatsApp group. So all the ladies that are looking for something that I found, they all go there. All the brothers that like a thobe that's a good price and good quality sold at this store, I take a picture, send it to them, tell them the price. I negotiate it for them so they don't trick you. Say, hey, I'm going to send you 50 people. Each one you pay them only 85 riyals. It's like, okay, I got it. Khalas. You don't go tell you 200 riyals. Okay. So we do that, and people can go. I even dry cleaning and stuff like that outside your hotel. They come to your in front of the hotel, do it for you for a fraction of the cost of the hotel. We send that information. So assist others, right? I'm going to conclude by saying this. The difference maker between a memorable, beautiful Hajj and a miserable experience, in my opinion, is your attitude. All my groups, I tell them from day one, and I tell you the same. Go with the intention to serve, not to be served. Anybody in your company and companionship, you go get water, you get them water. It's time for lunch. Hey guys, lunch is outside. This is on the menu and that's on the menu, and all that. Like, assist. Can I help you? You see someone struggling with their mom and pushing her or grandma, and so tired. You have energy. Let me give you 5. Let me give you 20 minutes. I'll push a little bit. Let me help you. Take a little break. Help the sisters. Help the elderly. Help the brothers. Be that spirit, that spirit. Subhanallah. Huge. I've done Hajj, alhamdulillah, multiple times. The groups, when they have that attitude, subhanAllah, you're just constantly sitting down. This guy's giving you Gatorade. This guy's giving you this guy's giving you a snack bar. This guy's helping you that way. This guy's, subhanAllah. Huge. You just find yourself like, am I really in dunya or am I in Jannah? Like how people are so kind. And then you get the groups that don't have that attitude. I paid $25,000. Like, okay, what do you want people to do for you? Why is the train not on time? Yeah, what am I going to do for you? Like that attitude, miserable. Nobody wants to be around that person or those persons. Okay? Then you have people that are just like super kind, super helping, super just serving. That's the attitude you should have from this point onwards. And patience. It's a struggle. It's a jihad. You need to have that attitude that you're going there to be tested. It's a physical and financial ibadah. Physically, you're going to be tested. Not only exhausted, you're also going to be tested with people's Yani sometimes attitudes or behavior. You need to be patient. Okay? Do we have any questions here in person that I can take before we, inshallah, close and pray Isha? Yes.
If we forget while we are in a state of ihram and we put the heart, just a minute after we realize.
Yeah, that's fine. You're fine. Forgetfulness, Allah forgives. No. Any questions before we conclude? Yes, sister.
After Tawaf al-Wada, is it compulsory to not do any shopping or not do any sightseeing and directly go to the airport? I read this somewhere that you cannot do anything after Tawaf al-Wada.
So Tawaf al-Wada' literally means farewell tawaf. And basically it should be the last thing that we do in Mecca. So after you're done with Tawaf al-Wada', can you eat? Yes, of course you can eat. If it's still a few hours before you travel, can you take a rest? Yes, you can rest. If you need to buy medicine, can you buy medicine? Yes, you can buy medicine. Should you actually do it like 10 hours before you leave and do 10 hours of shopping? The answer is no. But let's say you did Tawaf al-Wada' and you remembered, oh, I forgot to buy this gift for my mom that she asked me to get, and it's on your way to your hotel or somewhere there. You can go get that. That's fine. But the idea is, the last thing we do in Mecca should be Tawaf al-Wada', and we shouldn't linger around doing some other things and activities that are not Tawaf. Yes?
For a man, is lifetime Hajj requirement under his parents, or would it have to be under
I didn't understand your question. I'm sorry.
so the lifetime Hajj requirement for a man would have to be under his earnings, or would it count?
So do you have to pay for Hajj out of your own pocket, is your question? Primarily, yes. But if someone gifts you, and it cannot be zakah, if someone gifts you Hajj, your parents pay for it, that's perfectly fine. Hey, just be super kind to them and grateful because they saved you a lot of money. Any questions? Yes.
6 tawaf, and then you forgot that 6, you did 6, and then you go to the side, and then you remember that you did 6. What do you do then?
Please make sure you do 7. Okay? I think counting 7 is not a complicated task. I know we always get, so what I do is if I make sure that we did 7. Okay? There are counting beads, there's counting things, there's every time I do want to go, 1, they're like, yeah, 1. I'm like, okay, 2, 3. I do that intentionally because if I stay quiet for 2, 3 turns, I'm like, what is this one? One says 5, one says 3, one says 4, and I'm like, yeah, Allah. So just 7, okay? Should be easy. Don't worry. Make sure it's 7. And if you feel it's 6 while you're doing tawaf, add an extra one, just to be 7. Okay? Not a very difficult task. Counting to 7 is not too hard. Yes? Can you take a loan to do Hajj? No. No. No loans for Hajj. You have the money, you do Hajj. You don't have the money, you don't do Hajj. Yeah, and no zakah to help somebody else do Hajj. No. Zakah goes to the poor people. To eat and live, not to perform Hajj.
Do we kill a mosquito or something?
Can't hear you.
By mistake, we do kill the mosquito.
No mosquitoes in Mecca, don't worry.
I mean, that's
By mistake, no problems. Okay? But we don't go around killing things in ihram. When we're ihram, there is some restrictions. One of them I forgot to mention, we don't hunt. But we can fish. So you can kill fish, right? But you don't go hunt animals. You have to pay penalty. But you're not going to hunt and fish you can fish, but you don't have to hunt. So we're not going there to kill animals, right? We're going there to be in a safe, ihram state. But yes, so... But if there's some things that are harmful, you can kill them. Like a snake, like a rat, like these things you can kill. A scorpion, you can kill, even if you're in a state of ihram. Any questions?
While concerned going into the Umrah, you can't do Umrah on behalf of
So to perform Umrah or Hajj on behalf of anybody else, you have to have, there are 2 conditions. One is that you have performed Hajj on your behalf before, and if it's Umrah, you have performed Umrah on your behalf before. Secondly, the person you're performing Umrah or Hajj on their behalf, they must be either deceased, dead, or living with a severe chronic illness that prevents them from ever being able to travel. They cannot sit on the plane seat to get to Mecca. That person, you can perform Hajj on their behalf, or Umrah on their behalf, or if someone passed away and you want to perform Hajj on their behalf. Yes, you have condition that you have done yours first. Any last question? طيب. Sisters, we're good? سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا وشفيعنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين اللهم اجعل تجمعنا هذا تجمعا مرحوما وتفرقنا من بعده تفرقا معصوما ولا تجعل فينا ولا منا ولا معنا شقيا ولا محروما يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث أصلح لنا شأننا كله ولا تكلنا إلى أنفسنا ولا إلى غيرك طرفة عين ولا أقل من ذلك اللهم اجعله حجا مبرورا وسعيا مشكورا وذنبا مغفورا وتجارة لن تبور وأعد علينا الحج وأكرمنا به ووفقنا له أعواما عديدة وأزمنة مديدة وأنت راض عنا ونحن في أحسن حال سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا وشفيعنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين جزاكم الله خيرا السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته إياكم إن شاء الله
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
استووا اعتدلوا, straighten your lines, please mute your cell phones. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. لقد صدق الله رسوله الرؤيا بالحق لتدخلن المسجد الحرام إن شاء الله آمنين لتدخلن المسجد الحرام إن شاء الله آمنين محلقين رؤوسكم ومقصرين لا تخافون فعلم ما لم تعلموا فجعل من دون ذلك فتحا قريبا هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله وكفى بالله شهيدا. الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لإيلاف قريش إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف. الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. نعمت عليه. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. ربنا ولك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا وشفيعنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين وارفع بفضلك كلمتي الحق والدين. اللهم انصر من نصر الدين واجعلنا منهم، واخذل من خذل الدين ولا تجعلنا منهم. اللهم يا مجري السحاب ويا منزل الكتاب ويا سريع الحساب ويا هازم الأحزاب، اهزم من قتل المسلمين وعاد الإسلام. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من شرورهم ونجعلك في نحورهم. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من شرورهم ونجعلك في نحورهم. اللهم آمن روعاتنا واستر عوراتنا وانصرنا على من عادانا ومن ظلمنا. اللهم انصر عبادك المظلومين المستضعفين في غزة وفي فلسطين وفي كل مكان يا رب العالمين. ربنا اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. ربنا أوزعنا أن نشكر نعمتك التي أنعمت علينا وعلى والدينا وأن نعمل صالحا ترضاه، وأدخلنا برحمتك في عبادك الصالحين، وأصلح لنا في ذرياتنا إنا تبنا إليك وإنا من المسلمين. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار، وأدخلنا الجنة مع الأبرار برحمتك يا عزيز يا غفار. ربنا عليك توكلنا وإليك أنبنا وإليك المصير. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا وشفيعنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.